What's up, guys? Welcome back. As you can see, today we're taking a look, direct comparison between the Starre and the Maganus by Vapeston. The Starre is made by FreeMax. There's a lot of talk about these two tanks. They are identical. I've heard some rumors going around that they're even made by two brothers. I had to follow them post-production, and each kind of went their own way with the tank. And this is why we have two identical tanks with different names without any kind of legal problems, as they were both involved in the creation of the product, had a fallout. Here we are. I don't know if that's true. I would love to know if that is true. But yeah, we're going to get into it. So, I've had the Maganus for a while. Sorry, pull my chair up here and we'll talk with you. Now, I love this guy. For an RTA, it's not rebuildable, it's a tank atomizer, and it blows the majority of my rebuildables out of the water. I got this thing after rocking my Goblin for a few weeks, and I started vaping on this guy, and it blew me away how it could produce flavors and clouds on par, if not better, than my rebuildables, and last a month on a coil, hitting it at 70 watts all day like a chimney, just vaping. And I purposely tried to see how long I could make one of those coils last me. And I got over 3 weeks out of it. Solid, heavy use. It was 3 weeks and 3 days or something like that. So I'm going to drain the tanks and show you. This is the version 1 Maganus, and this is the new version 2 Starre. So we're going to show you the differences between the two. And that's basically it. Other than that, they're pretty much the same. They've updated the base and this little cage inside a little bit. So let's get into it and break them down. Okay, and there she is, all laid out in all the pieces. They're pretty much the same. There's not a lot of difference. Really, the only difference are these two pieces and the bases. So if you look in the bottom here, the one on the right, I can tell that it's got little knockouts there for filling. You can see I kind of ground a little bit out with my Dremel. I was trying to do the same sort of thing. Just to make it easier to get the bottle in there, but it doesn't really matter. So if you look at the way the tops are designed here, this one here has more of a direct opening, whereas this has, the coil fits more up into this one. I believe either would work on either or, however they are slightly different. But they are designed for the same coils, and I'm using the FreeMax coils in my Maganus right now, and I'm having no problems with that at all. They are identical. So this is the coil that I managed to get over 3 weeks out of. You can see it's pretty dirty now and gummed up inside. It gets a little dark. As soon as I noticed the flavor started to go to crap, I turfed it. And this is a new one. Well, it's not even that new. I've been using it now for a few days. And the coils are consistent. Like every coil that I've had, that is the biggest problem I find with these tanks, is the coils. But here's some coils there. You look at them through the package, every one looks perfect to me. There's no excess cotton in there. Nice big thick open airflow. Good stuff. So I love this thing. I went out and bought 2 more of them just to have them around because I liked it so much. I was literally depressed when I had no coils for the week, waiting for the stuff to arrive. So if you look at the bases, on the right is the original. Some condensation in there. I just washed these, but the one on the right is the original. The one on the left is from the Maganus. The one on the right is from the FreeMax. So not a lot of difference. Just the way that they've designed the coil and stuff like that. It would be hard to find the V1 now anyway. They're pretty much all updated to the version 2 Starre tanks, whatever. But even if you do end up getting the V1 Maganus, it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit more difficult to fill, but as long as you're using these style of tips, you'll have no issues. The only problem I did find with the Maganus one is when you're filling it, when it's together, here, let's pop it together and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This one I found, the Maganus, the glass fits just impeccably. It doesn't fall off. You can see I got a chip in my glass, but I'm going to use it until it breaks. I'm not going to change it yet. It's a little wet in there, but I was filling it like this. just pumping it up, and then I would just drop this in and tighten everything down that way. But you're not supposed to really do that. And with the FreeMax, I find the glass or the cage is a little bit different. And the reason I didn't like to fill it like this was because if you look at inside there, that little rubber ring, you'd end up filling it, getting your bottle in there like this, and filling it, and it's kind of hard to get in there. So a little bit of juice would end up getting around on top of that rubber ring. So then you would go and throw your base in there with your coil, and your coil seals on there. Well, if there's liquid in that top area, it tends to get into the coil, and you suck it up through the chimney. So you think you're getting too much liquid in your coil, but you're not. It's because there's liquid on top of that seal, between the seal and the coil. So if it ever happens, just pop it out, pop the base off, and just dry this out right in there with some paper towel, and put it back together, and you'll be like, holy man, that was the problem. But with the FreeMax, you don't really have that issue, as they redesigned that bottom cage, and that was another reason I used to feel it the other way, like I was saying there, was because the cage is a little hard to fill around on this version 1. So you just basically put the glass in. I found the FreeMax is really tight, so it actually does screw together and stay together very nicely. And it does have a really good capacity on it. So there you go. And to fill, it is very easy. So let's find some e-juice here, and I will give this guy a top up. Okay, so I'm going to be throwing some of my Loopy Fruit mod sauce in here today. And this is what I liked about this version. The way that they've changed this cage up. It's a little bit more narrow. If you look inside, you can see that inner cage. It gives you just a little bit more room between the glass and that cage to fill. And that was the main problem with the version 1. So this allows you to get your whole bottle right down there like that. And then you don't have that problem like I was telling you about before with getting liquid on top of that seal. And this one here actually has the highest capacity of any of my tanks. I measured it yesterday and I got 6 mils? It might have been 5. I think it was 5. Yeah, it is 5. Pump her up. I'll get it as full as I can just to show you how full you can get it. You can pump it up just to there. Sorry guys. Just a coil and the base. And I always, like when I've had it out here, it's totally dried as I cleaned it and stuff for the video. So it's always a good idea just to put a couple drops of fluid in the coil. And that's it. Just pop it upside down. Make sure your threads sit properly. I always go backwards until I feel it seat properly. That's just me. Threads are great. No problems with it. Tightens up nice. And there she is. So let it glug in there. And that's it. So nice drip tip, same as the Magnus. Nice big open slot. It's one of the most open 510 diameter drip tips I've ever used, to be honest. Couldn't really make it much thinner than that. And that's it. So that is the side-by-side between the FreeMax Starre and the Vapeston Maganus version 1. The version 2 would be identical, and the new Magnus is the version 2. I think it would be hard to find a version 1 at this point. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're wondering what the hell happened to the Vaporology page, I ended up deleting all my subscribers accidentally. If you were a subscriber to my channel previously, I urge you, implore you, beg you to please resubscribe. We got lots coming. The all-new TVCT from OBSN Smoke. I got that provided to me for review, as well as a bunch of other new stuff coming. Mutation V5. We got the new CLT V3. A couple of the Turbo RDA clones, just to see how they stack up against the Authentics. We got lots on the way, guys. We are dedicated to you, the viewer. This is Vaporology. Make it cloudy, my friend. Keep calm. Vape on.